want to work together, ensure that the Nairobi city is a green city. It has bike parks, it has cycling lanes, it has pedestrian walk path, it has paths for persons with disability. It is the city that we want to see, the city under the sun, where there are no carbon emissions, or carbon emissions have been reduced. And we also want to see that bicycles are cheaper now, that everybody can be able to afford their bikes. And no one has been left behind. Whether it's person with a disability, they also have their cycling path. So because SDG is all about bringing people to go together, SDG number 17. This Cycling to Work program, I find it a very amazing program that has a lot of impact, not only at the workplace, but also in world in general. So when I look at the Cycling to Work program, of course, it's a world problem and world biggest, most pressing humanity challenge that need to be addressed. So I'm looking at bringing collaborations. So I want to bring the government on board, whether it is the Nairobi Metropolitan, which we have already been also in engagement with them. We are talking to them. They are very helpful. I also want to bring private sector on board. Like we need more business leaders to come on board so that they can inspire their workers to cycle to work. Whether you are a manager, whether you are a CEO, whether you are financial in the financial department, can you cycle to work? And of course, when we have safety cycling paths, then I also want to bring civil society so that they can help us in policy transformation. And I also want to bring the community, because we have many people who are talking about cycling lanes. And when we speak about cycling lanes, remember, this is a humanity challenge or a world problem. It has no one can claim to own this idea that you are the one who owns about cycling to work. Nobody can say that because it's a world problem. It's bigger than us. And so we need to come together and address it. So even when we talk about these good things, remember they have no trademark, they have no copyright, they have no patent, because they are world problems. We all coming together on the table and saying, this is a big problem. How do we address it? How do we ensure that the future generation coming on planet Earth find a better place, and that we do not leave the place worse than it was, but leave it as better as it was. So we are looking at ensuring, once we bring the collaborations on board, we want to work together, ensure that the Nairobi city is a green city. It has bike parks, it has cycling lanes, it has pedestrian walk path, it has paths for persons with disability. It is the city that we want to see, the city under the sun, where there are no carbon emissions, or carbon emissions have been reduced. And we also want to see that bicycles are cheaper now, that everybody can be able to afford their bikes. And no one has been left behind. Whether it's person with a disability, they also have their cycling path. So because SDG is all about bringing people to go together, SDG number 17. And also we also want to ensure that now that we have the cycling paths and walkways, even the transformation of the Traffic Act to be created in a way that it can also be enforced and also retweaked to the way it was to now, to be able to suit the modern cycling path, pedestrian walk path, and walkways for persons with disability. So it is the future that we want to see, where we leave no one behind, and we make a world, the world, we create the world that we want to see, a better world.
I'm Mukunji Christopher, policy advisor and coordinator on the Cycling to Work program of Cityscape Trends. Basically, I try to amend and create policies that will favor the promotion and the uptake and the progress of the bicycles and cycling in the state, in the country. So basically, so far I've come on board, and what I've managed to do is draft and create proposals on the amendment of the Traffic Act, Cap 403. And on that, that amendment was based on the views of cyclists who were saying that they were mostly underdogs, in quotes, and they were being bullied by other road users. So by viewing and creating amendments favorable to them, That's what I'm doing so far. Basically, and also moving on, I also want to take charge and take other motorists, other road users on board, because this traffic act, it touches all and everyone who uses the road, not exactly the cyclist, but because we can change and create proposals that will only favor the cyclists at the cost of other road users. So going on and moving forward, I plan to incorporate other road users, motorists, watu wa nduthi, watu wa matatu, any public road user. And the amendments of this policy are focused to, as I've said before, to elevate the standards of cycling, create a sustainable city as in line with the SDGs, and make sure that the city is clean, free, and basically that.